Metal Ray Radio.
Hey guys, this is Zach.
And I'm Evan.
Sarah.
And we'd like to welcome you all to Scenic, Illinois, where we're here, live, at Dashcon. There's nobody here, they took all our money, and we're just sad.
Oh,
We're-
God. It's just, dude.
We're not actually at Dashcon, of course, but we are talking about it. I've let my friends here, Evan and Sarah, I let them watch a video about a little bit of Dashcon. What is your first response to seeing this video? This video, by the way, tell them what the video had in it.
Oh, my God. Okay, let me preface this by saying Tumblr is not known for its amount of maturity. That's a pretty common theme in it. Dashcon, the video that we just saw, showed a bunch of people waiting for over an hour for a panel to start from a invited guest who just ended up bailing because they didn't get paid, and they literally had to pay an exorbitant amount of money to go to a first-time convention that lends no credibility and barely any visibility. And then we saw a bunch of people, literally the entire convention, standing in a room while the people who ran the convention begged for $17,000 in 1 hour so that they could continue to have the convention. And got it. Got that $17,000 just from people in the crowd making donations. And what did they get to do for paying that $17,000 to allow the con to continue for the next 2 days? They got a ball pit about half the size of my living room and a bounce house.
Yep.
And nothing else.
Sarah, do you have an opinion on the video you just saw?
It was just painful to watch. We've been to bad conventions, and it looked worse. It was much worse than a convention that we went to.
We went to a Sonicon here in Dallas. We participated at an event with a club at Sonicon here in Dallas. This was this is 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And it was awful. It was in this tiny little convention center, probably about the size of your average office supply store, or maybe about half that size.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. The majority of the special guests left because they couldn't get their expenses covered, and pretty much everyone in the dealer's room left because they weren't making any money, and they were having to pay per day for the tables.
Also, we didn't get to leave. Our group could not leave because they actually threatened to sue us.
Yeah.
They tried to sue everybody for leaving, and we were stuck there for the whole weekend.
Needless to say, as to the best of my knowledge, I have not heard of Sonicon going on again.
So, how would you feel when I say that what you saw in the video isn't really even the worst?
I would say that's appalling. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
So, I'm going to read out an article here.
Okay.
This is from digital.com, and it's written by a nice journalist named Rebecca Rose. It's called Tumblr Users Convention Dashcon was a beautiful, hilarious shit show.
Yeah, you think?
So, here we go. While you are comfortable relaxing in your home over the weekend, a group of Tumblr bloggers tried to hold a convention. The result was Dashcon, one of the most glorious shit shows to ever amuse bored internet users. What is Dashcon, you probably ask yourself, noting the hashtags that popped up on social media over the weekend. For short, Dashcon, held in Schaumburg, Illinois, was a convention put on by Tumblr users that attempt to be an assemblage of various fandoms from the social networking site. The planners started working on Dashcon in 2013 using Indiegogo to raise money. Dashcon tickets were offered for pre-sale at $65, with weekend passes advertised as $80. In addition to tickets, there are available some panels at an additional fee. Via Dashcon's website, Dashcon aims to be the largest gathering of Tumblr users to date, concentrated on, in particular, on the standout social media site. Dashcon will be a place where Tumblr users can express common site-wide interest in both fashion, art, science, and in the world of geekery. Specifically, this side of Tumblr we have garnered interest from in various TV shows, movie series, and book series. Notable groups within the geekery side would be those who follow BBC's Sherlock, CW Supernatural, and J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. In addition to bringing together these groups, we are also very interested in promoting and helping with two common issues found within Tumblr users, mainly depression and anxiety. We wish to provide informational programming about healthy ways to deal with these conditions.
Can I just say one thing on that? I love the fact that Tumblr's full of depressed people because Tumblr is something that most people do when they are incredibly young. Usually probably right around the ages of, I'd say probably 14 to maybe 18.
I'd say that's about fair.
This is right about the time in life that you begin to realize that all the TV shows and loving anecdotes from your parents about how you're special and unique and that alone will save you in the world starts to lose its ground in your life. So I just find it funny that this is what people get depressed and almost to a point suicidal over, is the fact that they have to develop skills to survive in the world. I just think it's funny.
An adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue, sorry.
That all sounds really fun and really noble. But planning a major convention that involves gathering thousands of people from all over the country requires a lot more skill and finesse than reblogging a couple gifs of Tom Hiddleston. It's important to note that this was not an official Tumblr convention sanctioned by the social media site. Organizers were reportedly prohibited from using the name Tumblr in any planning or promotional material.
Whoa.
Dashcon was named after the dashboard Tumblr users greeted with when they used the site. In fact, I don't think I have it posted here.
So it wasn't even official.
Here, I'll look up Dashcon's website. Evan, I want you to read something on this website. What does it say right there? What does this line say?
For Tumblr users by Tumblr users, we are not in any way affiliated with or endorsed by Tumblr. Dashcon, give us your money.
By the way, look at that label.
Yeah. They just pulled out all the stops on that, didn't they? That's the most beautiful use of Comic Sans I've ever seen.
Anyways, here's
Did they use Comic Sans?
No, I don't know what it is, but it's one of those
It's
crappy
like
fonts.
It's one of those like fake, like cursive fonts.
That's one of the fonts you're never allowed to use in graphic design. Oh!
Nobody told Tumblr.
It's like it's that font that's like not cursive but it's curvy, so it's made to look like
I think it's called Corsiva?
probably something like that.
I think. Or Monotype. Monotype Corsiva.
Here's a roundup of some of the panels that were planned. Shipping 101, OTP, ROTP, No TP, OT3, your basics and not so basics on all things shipping, 18+. Can you not? Spelled KNOT. Exploring the Omegaverse, 18+. A growing subset within fandoms, topics such as gender roles, gendered language, and the 6 gender system will be discussed among many other
The
topics.
6 gender
Is
system.
that also
Guys,
18 plus?
be whatever you want, but understand, if you've got one thing, people are going to call you by that thing.
Is that also 18
Life.
plus?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
said 18+. British men with cheekbones.
Oh, God.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hiddleston, David Tennant, we all know how addicted you are to those faces and those impeccable cheekbones. Fangirl with others over how much you can't live without those and others' beautiful faces. BDSM 101.
What?
A panel to discuss the truth of BDSM and clear up the misconceptions set forth by popular fiction and the fear of the unknown, 18+. Italia Jeopardy! The infamous game show, but with Italia, that shows characters, history, and everything that you can think of. Prizes will be given. Sherlock Fandom. This is just called Sherlock Fandom, by the way. I want you to listen to this. We did what? A glimpse into the craziness that has always embodied the Sherlockians. Whether you are forcing ACD to resurrect your hero or drawing John having intimate relationship with a tuna and a scarf. A no-holds-barred panel. Be prepared for anything and everything. 18+. All right, those are some of the panels.
They're all 18 plus.
Except
No. The ones that weren't were Hitalia Jeopardy, which is going to turn 18 plus during it anyway, and British Men with Cheekbones, which was also going to turn 18 plus in the middle of it.
Things started going wrong almost immediately. Convention goers reported a myriad of problems as Dashcon kicked off. This post, which I'll be reading later, explains some of the bigger issues. Attendance was low. People couldn't get Wi-Fi in the hotel. Early reports surfaced that young teens were allowed the 18-up only panels. This was disputed by panel moderators and people at the convention. The game room only had one console and television.
Was it a ColecoVision?
I'm not sure.
I bet $1 million that it was a ColecoVision.
But so what? You're here to cosplay and meet up with other like-minded Tumblr users and discuss issues that are near and dear to your heart, not lounge in some swanky hotel. It's no big deal that you don't have money to quite pull off the original event that you envisioned. At least not until people and businesses remind you that you cannot pay for services in time with your fields. Rumors swirled that the venue, the Renaissance Schaumburg Hotel, and planners were clashing over unpaid fees. In a scintillated post, Dashcon planners began asking for donations via the website, telling readers that the events would be canceled if they did not raise $17,000.
Guys, when the people running the show tells you that they need $17,000 or you're not allowed to stay there anymore, leave. Find something better to do with your time, because these people don't know what they're doing.
And they have the post here, which basically just says, Dashcon needs help. Upper management at the hotel is threatening to shut down. Dashcon needs $70,000 by 10 p.m. Central Time.
I mean, imagine you walked into a store, alright? And the store manager got on the intercom and said, guys, we need to raise $25,000 or we're not allowed to stay open today. That means every customer that loves the store needs to go to the front and buy the most expensive thing they can. What would you do? Leave the store and go somewhere else.
I would.
Everyone would.
To protest the threat of being kicked out, people were reportedly singing Do You Hear the People Sing from Les Mis and holding up the three-fingered salute from Hunger Games. Tumblr user Chia Thingy provided an excellent play-by-play for much of the action. 18, quotes in the night. I just don't know how this could happen. I hate the staff. How could they do this? I'm not crying. I was just in the pool. 19, evidently staff is used to people attending for model train conventions. Holy shit, nothing can prepare you for this. Oh my god. 20, LMFAO. People's moms are calling the hotel to demand information. 21, various fandoms called upon and cheers result. 22, Carry On My Wayward Son is played. Massive sing-along occurs. Mockingjay sign again. Now we're singing Les Mis. Skip down to 26. What's JFC?
JFC people, I don't know. JFC people saying tweet Misha. Oh, it's the Be Supernatural, if they're talking about Misha. Tweet John Green, tweet Mark Ruffalo. Please no, Tumblr, what are you doing?
Tweet Mark Ruffalo. But the worst sign of impending doom was when guests from Welcome to Night Vale, a popular podcast, probably the convention's biggest draw, dropped out of the convention and publicly explained why.
We tried very hard to make this happen. We took a full break in the middle of our July tour and to attend this small fan-based event. We paid for our own hotel and plane fare and were very excited to be part of this intimate fan gathering. But after a morning of discussion, organizers were unable to pay us for the costs of travel and performing.
The Baker Street Babes, a feminist Sherlock Holmes fan site, were extremely vocal about how uncomfortable they were with the donation plea and the fact that they had not gotten paid for their attendance. They had since updated their original post to indicate that planners were working with them to sort the payment. However, after that, another update from them indicated that they were not being reimbursed. The fundraising effort generated a lot of controversy, which has not shown any sign of dying down. This moment when the word breaks that they are supposedly raised enough money to stay, and attendees started singing We Are the Champions. I cannot make this up if I try. So what to do about the guests who paid extra for access to panels that no longer existed? They were offered an extra hour in the ball pit. For reference, the ball pit was probably about a 6x6
inflated thing full of little plastic balls. Like you get at McDonald's. For free.
No, that's not even as big as McDonald's. That's like half the size of McDonald's.
This is not a joke or a phony picture cooked up by 4chan to make the event look bad. This actually was what was at the convention. There was a bouncy house too. A lot of people were pretty pissed and disappointed about the experience, and soon blog posts began cropping up detailing what was going on. Tumblr and Twitter users wasted no time in thoughtfully contemplating the deeper social societal issues surrounding the problematic issues of Dashcon. Just kidding. They made a lot of jokes and memes about it.
Yay!
Followed by
You
a
can't
bunch
see them,
of
but trust me, they're hilarious and stinging.
getting an extra hour in the ball pit, especially a new dog, in case you were wondering. There were some bright spots. Doug Jones, an actor from Hellboy franchise and Pan's Labyrinth, showed up for a meet and greet. Event planners offered an explanation about the debacle with the hotel and said they do plan to start paying people back who donated via PayPal over the weekend. So people pointed out, events like this require a lot of word of mouth and usually a few years to build up enough interest to make it profitable enough to stage a major venue. Without the promotional power of Tumblr or a similar sponsor, it's hard to make something like this size and scope work. This may be a case of young and or naive people who probably attended a lot of conventions thinking it looked easy to do. But even the most seasoned event planners require years of training and experience to be able to pull off a successful convention without having a nervous breakdown. It's easy to blow this off as one big joke, but there were people who paid a lot of money to come to this convention, including tickets, accommodation, travel, etc. Hopefully everyone involved in planning events like this will learn a lesson from what happened at Dashcon, so people who actually care and want to support it aren't screwed over or disappointed. Next time, maybe just try treating like Ruffalo.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I know a lot of the staff who works at Acon and AFest. And that's a successful convention. Those are both like massively successful
Older
conventions.
than you.
Acon is exactly as old as I am. Yeah, it's 25 years old. And even now, even today, with all the word of mouth and all the people that are just ready to go, the moment it's over, are ready to are planning, making plans to attend next year. It takes months of hellish effort to get all that stuff together.
Yeah.
Particularly because of the hotel staff. Hotel owners love conventions because they're a guaranteed source of heavy revenue incoming. Hotel managers hate conventions and do whatever they can to get rid of them because you're dealing with a bunch of obnoxious people trying to have fun in a place of business.
I've always been a big fan of Rooster Teeth, and they have a yearly convention called RTX.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I follow them a lot, and I hear a lot about it because they talk a lot about it on their podcast and stuff related to that. Do you know when they start planning the next RTX?
Before the first one's even finished,
3
right?
years.
They start it the next day after the convention's done.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, just some experience about this.
But
Yeah, keep going.
you know when they start actually like doing like the hardcore, like creating the spreadsheets and doing the budget planning?
When?
They started in January for a July convention. They have a dedicated team of people that go in every single day, and their only job from like January to July is just to plan this convention.
Yeah.
This is literally people who are paid to go in every day and just work on convention stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For that's 7 months.
Yep.
That's what it takes to make a convention.
And that's a successful company, by the way. Rooster Teeth is probably one of the first very successful businesses to arrive out of the internet from video making. And they are pulling in quite a bit of a scratch for that. And they're putting it to good use, but it takes planning. It takes money. It takes people who are dedicated to doing one single boring, repetitive thing for a long time to get this stuff done.
I have up here the Indiegogo, and it just shows from the get-go what they had wrong with it. So how much money do you think it takes to make a convention?
Probably like just short of 500,000, maybe.
I'd say like, so they
like
they
a big one, or you mean like a startup one?
like a startup.
Probably like at least 30,000.
Let's say about 10,000.
At least.
Yeah, so they needed 17,000 to like just to have the hotel.
Just to stay for 2 extra days.
I'm going to show you their Indiegogo and how much money they asked for at the beginning for what they wanted to be a convention with, and they say it in their website about 6,000 people to show up to.
All right, I got $500 on $500.
I'm going to show you. This is how much money they thought they had to spend to make a convention.
I'm going to say 1,000.
I had at the bottom. That's
$5,000 goal.
They had a $5,000 goal for what they wanted to be a major convention.
Jeez.
And they didn't research or do any math before
They didn't even
that?
reach the goal.
Yeah, they are literally. They have $4,075.
Yeah,
They're
which, by
almost
the way,
a full thousand short of their goal.
flexible funding too, so that means they got to keep that money too.
Yep. They got to just burn it. I bet you $1 million is what they did too.
This is $5,000 that they got. I'm sure that they saved up some money somewhere else. But I want you to consider this. They didn't pay the hotel. That's why they were asking for the $17,000. They didn't pay their guests. They didn't pay for the guests' accommodation, airfare travel, or even for them to perform at the convention. Where did the money go?
Yeah.
We needed new computers, man. I mean, if we're going to present this stuff, we want it to look really good. I got to get me a new laptop.
Did you... Okay, you saw the video. You saw them up on stage, right? She was in the middle of the stage.
Yeah.
A completely new DJ system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where... Like... So you got $4,000 plus $17,000. That's about $21,000. And yet you can't pay your guests. You can't pay the people attending. You can't even buy good amenities because the console room's empty. So you didn't pay for that.
Bounce house. You paid for a
bounce house, which costs about $500.
Well, no, and you saw how they said people were getting an extra hour. So people were probably still paying to play in the bounce house and the ball pit.
Yeah.
The guests.
Yeah.
Per hour.
Isn't that a federal crime?
It feels so...
Isn't that extortion? Isn't that
feels
theft?
Dirty, man. But again, this is Tumblr. Tumblr is not known for exuding maturity and being a collection of thought-provoking and plan-oriented people. It's where people put butt and dick and supernatural jokes all over Tumblr because it's an instant gratification kind of site.
This is from the Dashcon website. The question asked of them is, why did we still need $17,000 and where did it go?
Hang on, let me read this.
Here you go.
All right. Why did we still need $17,000 and where did it go? With events like ours, it's not entirely uncommon for there to be an outstanding balance at the time of the event. Most of our funds should have come in throughout the weekend through our at-the-door sales, though our at-the-door sales absolutely deflated after the Friday evening and Saturday afternoon debacles, and with good reason. As you'll see below, we had already paid in $21,000 prior to arrival. Only about $7,000 was money still due on the venue itself, as $10,000 was for event services such as electricity, which wasn't even quoted to us until a day or two prior to Thursday night's early registration. Should we have been more prepared? Absolutely. We've looked into the contract, and it comes to light that the net 30 terms that were described by a member of the Dashcon's upper management weren't correct. Whether that misinformation was deliberate or accidental, we can't say for sure. We can say that we've taken measures to remove the person who handled that situation from our company. Additionally, it was suggested that the Renaissance Schaumburg had denigrated our attendees, saying that they didn't like the type of clientele our event brought in. Well, that's every hotel around convention time. That has since been proven 100% untrue. When two of the con heads were told by the third that such a thing had been said or otherwise insinuated, it wasn't wholly unbelievable, as it happened by so many other events in the past, and in our state of panic, we believed what we were told, thereby passing it along to our attendees. Dashcon's sincerest apologies go out to everyone who was hurt by this statement, including our attendees, vendors, staff members, and everyone at both the Renaissance Schaumburg and their parent company, Marriott International. We have contacted the Renaissance Schaumburg since the close of our event, apologized for this misinformation, and taken the appropriate measures to repair our business relationship. Dashcon is eternally grateful to hotels, staff, and management who worked closely and endlessly with us over the course of the weekend, sometimes into the wee hours of the morning, for their overwhelming kindness prior to, during, and after the convention. And what we did with the $17,000 raised in under as for what we did with the $17,000 raised in under an hour, which we would like to go on record as saying absolutely touches and astounds us, a picture is worth 1,000 words. While the hotel was not at liberty to release our accounting records, we have every right to do so. Please note both the $21,000 paid prior to arrival, as well as the money posted on the night of January 11th and morning of July 11th and the morning of July 12th. Consolidated Group Master, ancillary charges, and miscellaneous credit summaries.
They have their payment up there, but still,
yeah.
I guess they've proven where the money went.
Well, and look at how much it cost them.
Yeah.
Look at the total payments. It's $43,237.45. If you had planned for that kind of money, you might have been able to pull something off. Maybe.
They asked for $5,000 to begin with.
We hope this will ease your minds and help to dispel any rumors of the $17,000 raised being either stolen or put towards our 2015 event. In lieu of us discussing every single positive theory on where the money went, we decided it would be best to simply show you where it was actually posted to our account. The reason for the 2 separate $3,000 charges is a daily spending limit on the PayPal debit card. You used PayPal, you stupid motherfucker.
They use PayPal to pay for a convention.
That was used to immediately access funds donated on our website. A situation the hotel understood and was willing to work around. We have our sincerest apologies that we couldn't release this sooner. We have only received our final paperwork yesterday afternoon, and those of us who were able to make such information public were in a car and meetings in another state for the vast majority of the day. Why didn't the hotel speak of to the above reference charge? Okay, we'll stop there.
So yeah,
Let's use PayPal to pay for everything. They're safe.
Sarah, do you have any comments?
I wouldn't have went to one of these. I would have already from that website. I wouldn't have gone.
There. So this is a convention. By the way, thanks Evan for walking away in the middle of the podcast.
He lost it. He just couldn't stand it anymore. I think. That's why he's gone.
So this is a convention that they said that they wanted 6,000 people to go to. I'm going to read another thing here.
So, like, how did they advertise this?
Tumblr.
I didn't think Tumblr was that popular, but okay.
Tumblr is very popular. It's just that they aren't affiliated with Tumblr.
Yeah, ironically, and Tumblr let them get away with it?
Well, they weren't allowed to use it in any, like planning or any, like they weren't able to advertise that they were.
But they did write it on their website.
They said by Tumblr users. For Tumblr users. They didn't say that it was Tumblr making it. We are not in any way affiliated with or endorsed by Tumblr. That's what they said.
Go on.
Bro, when the website that you're trying to bring people together for goes on record to say, no, we are not endorsing you.
But
That's red flag number one.
But I just want to tell you, just kind of from my perspective, because we've hosted some popular panels and conventions.
Mm-hmm.
We should take it around Texas.
Well, we can discuss that later.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want you to think about this, just about the amount of money that it costs. So, for our panel this year, we had a pretty big room.
Mm-hmm.
So renting that room from the convention hall probably cost about $1,000.
Yeah.
So it's $1,000 on top.
Mm-hmm.
What did we have in that room? We had 4 microphones.
4 microphones.
That each cost probably about $200 because they're wireless and set up to a single system.
We had a projector and a setup system.
That's probably about another $2,000.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then we had a bunch of chairs.
Chairs probably provided by the convention.
We had a screen. Which was
screen-
probably
about 500.
You think 500? Okay.
1,000.
No. Screens like that aren't like
No,
$1,000.
yeah. And then there was a pull down screen from a classroom. It was probably, I'd say probably about 250 to 500.
Yeah. So together, how much do you think that single room costs?
That's probably right around just under 10,000, I think.
No, not that
No?
much.
You think?
5,000.
If we had a $2,000 sound system,
Yeah.
a $1,000 projector, 4 $200 microphones, that's about $5,000.
And we have the 1,000 for renting the room.
1,000 for renting room, that's about $6,000.
Yeah. Okay.
This convention asked for $5,000 to make an entire convention.
Let me put that into clarity for you. That was a bet that they were making on us as a panel, which is a bet that we've pretty much secured the past few years. But even still, that was on, and we had maybe 300-400 people in that room.
Yeah.
For 3 hours, and they do this for 72 straight hours.
Yep.
With panels much bigger than ours and panels much smaller than ours, all of which they pay to be there. We don't pay anything to run our panels there.
So we had one of the biggest panel rooms, probably there.
Yeah.
So let's say about $4,000 for other panel rooms.
Mhm.
We actually had 2 panels.
Mhm.
Because we had another podcast panel.
We did.
So that's they bet about $10,000 of material on us.
On us, yeah.
They have upwards of 20 panel rooms.
Yeah.
That's 2 panel rooms at $10,000.
Yep.
So that's 5. Let's say that's an average $5,000 per panel room times 20.
Yeah.
That's
100,000.
That's 100,000 panel rooms. That's just for panels.
Yeah, that's not including game rooms. That's not including renting services on Manga Library, where the maid club was, the LARPing rooms, the garden,
The main hall where the cosplay
the
contest
main
is being
hall,
held,
the
which had
electricity to run the entire convention hall.
just renting the convention hall.
Just renting the convention hall, because other people stay at these hotels. Other people want to hold events there. And we were literally covering the entire square footage of the
We
hotel for
covered
this.
the whole hotel.
A-Con is a big con, because it's been around for a few years, but that's...
They got a good staff.
Yeah, that's I'd say probably, like, almost a mil.
Yeah,
to
because
run
what
that
I was
place.
telling you guys, they don't just do 1-year contracts. They do 5 to 10-year contracts every year. They set this up way in advance. They already have dates for the next 5 years. They just posted.
Yeah, and that's another
Yeah.
thing about it. It's not about just getting one con done solid. Dashcon, I do not for a second believe that there's going to be a successful 2015 Dashcon. I just don't see it happening.
I think
They begged their attendees for $17,000 right in the middle of the convention.
The first day.
Like, literally, it's not even like, okay, we need this to keep going, but other than that, enjoy. They stopped everything, gathered everybody in the room and said, we need $17,000. I just don't see it happening again.
Yeah, and in the video, there's just a woman screaming, "You guys are getting cheated! I can't even hear her."
Yeah,
and she's
and-
trying to stop everybody.
and that's the biggest. That's the big word. There's one word that's kind of been thrown around, which I think fits a lot, and that's the word extortion.
Extortion. Yeah, it
They-
makes it sound cool.
It just means that they took money in a forceful way, or in a way that made the user that was giving the money feel bad, or
Feel
or
obligated to pay.
or in a way just kind of in a lie. They took money in a lie because they told them that they needed this money to stay there. That's not the lying part. The lying part is basically saying that they don't have the money. They said in their statement they had $21,000.
Yeah.
So what was the and they said they needed $7,000. They were short.
Yeah.
That's not the attendee's fault.
And they asked for $5,000. They did no kind of planning on it. I guarantee you, they didn't call the hotel. They probably didn't have in mind what hotel they were going to use. They didn't accommodate for all the people that would be coming there, what they would need to have to be entertained, to be kept there. They did not make plans for any of the guests coming. Literally, every invited guest that came to this convention paid to be there. Not a small amount. Not like, oh, okay, I'll pay $50 to keep my stuff at the concierge. These people paid hundreds of dollars. Some of them maybe over 1,000 to be there.
Several thousand plane tickets.
Yeah, because they had to buy multiple plane tickets for multiple people. They had to get hotel rooms either together as one if they're cheap, or if it's a bigger group, they probably had to get separate hotel rooms. An hotel room at a this is a Regency, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a high end.
Yeah. This is too big of a hotel for what they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah. If they just hold it in like a small convention center, they probably could have used.
We went to YuleCon during its first year. YuleCon was tiny, bro. I mean, like minute. Like
big now.
my work, where I work, probably about half the size of that was the entire convention
Just
center.
think
That's
about-
including the artist alley and everything.
No.
YuleCon's still going on because at least handled it successfully.
You guys, you need to think about it as, think about a motel, a high-end hotel, and then look at the smaller end hotel, upgraded from a motel.
Yeah.
That's where it was. It was just a tiny hotel, like you could just drive in to stay the night,
Yeah.
And they did that there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Regency is more of a hotel that you have to kind of call ahead to reserve a room.
This is by Marriott International, dudes. This was a lavish hotel.
So, and of course, like first convention I went to was a convention called Itzicon.
Yeah.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
It was held at Richardson Square Mall.
Yeah.
It was one big room.
It was tiny.
Yeah.
But it knew what its limits
Or
were.
it could do what Mini Acon does and just do in the grounds of a UNT.
Oh, it was at a library.
A library.
Yeah.
See, a library. See? No.
You're not going to get a lot of events going on, but
Mini-con.
it helps to breed that. Conventions have to grow in size. And Dashcon ain't going to be doing that. Because Dashcon's not going to be around. I guarantee it.
It's
Just, it's painful, man.
it's painful that they think that there's going to be another one. Like, they believe that they're going to hold another convention like this, that they're going to learn from their mistakes.
Well, what's painful, I think the saddest part of this is the fact that obviously I've spoken previous about the kind of personalities that go onto Tumblr, and that's their one respite, dude. That's one of the few places online that you can honestly do that kind of crap and nobody will call you on it.
Yeah.
And this has changed, I guarantee you, because every single person who's put in for Dashcon is going to get back on Tumblr. And at some point, the rumor's going to start circulating about the next Tumblr convention. They're going to be like, no, people from Tumblr made it. This isn't going to work. It's rough.
I think what was probably one of the more offensive things, and it was kind of mentioned here, we kind of mentioned in the video, is that the convention holders, instead of taking responsibility for what they did, they made the hotel out to be the villain.
Yeah.
That the big, mean hotel managers didn't like them, so they're just going to kick them out unless they pay more money.
Importantly, aside from trying to vilify all the extraneous aspects of it, the entire time that it's going on, they're not sitting here going, okay, we made this mess, we're going to sit in it. A few times they were like, we have made some mistakes in what's going on here, and we'll definitely try to work against it. But they tried to play the victim for crap that they never planned for. They tried to act like the world was trying to dump on them.
They hid it in their little payment statement that said, like, oh, that there were some mistakes made. If you read between the lines, they were given a contract, and they didn't read it.
They had one single person read it. One person read this contract, and then apparently didn't understand it, and went about and told everybody that. Dude, when you're planning this kind of stuff, somebody hands you a contract, go to a lawyer. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost money. But that lawyer knows how to read a contract and tell you what's going on in it. That's the point.
I would not hesitate for a second to believe that Akon has a dedicated legal team.
Definitely, dude.
Definitely.
Probably part of their PR team, too.
Yeah, because
There's no question.
if I went to Akon and they were begging for money, I would actually leave because there would be something wrong.
Yeah. A successful con like that, suddenly just running out of funds in the middle of it? Nah.
There's a
Thousands
board
of people go to Akon, and they all pay upwards of at least $30.
They have a board of directors for con.
Yeah, and I've talked to the board of directors. Very nice people.
They know what they're doing.
Here's an example of how different it's run. At last Akon, I had technically 3 panels because we had 2 back-to-back panels and we had a podcast panel the next day.
Yeah.
And I was filming a documentary, so my plate was full. I tried to contact one of the vice chairmen, a very nice woman. Not going to mention her name just for legal reasons. I contacted her and said, "I'm very busy at this convention. I was wondering if I could cancel one of my panels." And this was a few weeks before convention time. And she basically told me under no uncertain terms, absolutely not. You reserve this time. We have made this hall for you.
Yeah.
And it would be detrimental to us just to cancel it.
We've paid $5,000 to rent this space on your good word.
Yeah. And people don't really consider that because I'm betting these people who ran this Tumblr convention probably have only held panels in the past, and so they've never been on the like paying side of it.
Yeah.
They never consider that things cost money. Things cost time.
It's hell. It's hell running this stuff. Even while it's going on. It's not one of those things you can just sit back and be like, oh, that was fun.
It's not like The Sims. You can't just set stuff up and then let it happen. Because if you do that, they're going to get stuck in the fucking swimming pool without any ladders to climb up. You need to be active about it.
It's wrinkly in here. Guys.
It's crazy, the kind of stuff that goes on, and it becomes your life when you're running these things. If you want it to be as big as something like Akon or Anime Expo in California, the biggest convention in America, it becomes the one thing you do every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So if you're just a casual fan who think, oh, it'd be fun to get together and have a bunch of people, don't do it, bro.
Throw a party.
Don't do it.
Don't
yeah.
don't make
Throw
a
a meet
convention.
and greet. Don't rent out maybe like a library, and just be like, okay, we'll meet for like 6 hours and have a pizza party and discuss stuff.
Just
A
go
convention
have dinner together.
is not your forte, bro. It's just not gonna work for you. And
So-
the people who put together this Dashcon, dude. They're gonna be catching some heat for a good amount of time for this.
Like, okay. First off, I'm going to say I'm shocked, but not really shocked that there wasn't any legal recourse for what they did. Because technically, they didn't do anything legally wrong. They asked for money, and they were given money.
Yeah.
They put, quote-unquote, proof for where the payments went, even though I hesitate to believe a lot of the stuff that they say, especially since I'll even pull this up.
Well, and let's verify that. I mean, yes, they asked for money, and people were talking about it being extortion. It is illegal to ask people to give you money just to live your life, to pay your bills, to buy your food, to run the electricity so you can play your games. It's not illegal to ask people for money to fund an event. That is completely legal, despite whether or not it's a successful or disastrous event. If it's some sort of creative endeavor that people are going to get something out of and have an experience with, you are perfectly allowed to ask money for it. So they didn't do anything illegal. They did something stupid.
I'm looking at this little chart they made of their payments prior to event, but these mean nothing.
Yeah,
because it says
it also says going to Dashcon. That's it.
And inscription is ADV DPVS or cash, and that's just the way that they paid.
That's just how they paid.
So this doesn't really say what these are. These just say that
they paid something in the name of Dashcon.
That there's money exchanged somewhere. This could just be a list of them taking the money from PayPal and putting it in their bank account.
Them going to Office Depot and buying a new projector and putting it off as a business expense.
Yeah.
There's nothing that says that this went towards renting out the hotel or something.
They have a bunch of emails that they posted here from, I'm guessing, people from both the convention and the hotel.
Yeah, like this person over here saying, we've done this stuff a bit, and we've been invited to your panel. That's great. How much are we getting paid? This is so-and-so what we're going to be able to reimburse you for, what we're willing to charge for you. That's cool. We have a system where, just to make it easier, we pay for our own stuff, and then we get reimbursed by the convention. That just makes the money a bit easier for everybody to handle. The runners of Dashcon are going, that's perfect, that's exactly what we can do, and then it just stops. No more communication afterwards. They probably had discussions with them in person that didn't go very well.
And here's another thing that bothered me about the video. After Night Vale walked out, Night Vale, of course, a popular podcast. It's basically they act like it's a radio program.
It's a radio program that's supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very good podcast. And people pay a lot of money to go see them perform live because they do it very well.
They did a live one here not too long ago for ACON. It was awesome.
Okay.
After they left, the people who were running the panel made them out to be the villains.
Yep.
Made people think. They even said,
dude, she got on stage and said, okay, so Night Vale has walked. Basically, they just, they came by and they weren't willing to accept money after their panel went on, and we weren't able to pay them beforehand, and we'd have to go to the bank in order to make sure that we got them their money to reimburse them for flying and hotels, and they didn't do that, so they left. Good!
Like, they just, you gotta consider, like, from Dashcon, they're saying it from their perspective, they're making it seem like, oh, these people wanted money right now, and they were hardballing us. But
like
what actually happened was Night Vale, the entire group of them, which is a group of, like, 10 people, they paid for 10 people to fly.
Out of pocket.
And then 10 people to stay in the hotel room. They probably had no money. They probably didn't have money to even eat that night.
They were probably thinking, we're going to get paid by the hotel and then we'll be able to go. If your boss says, I'm going to pay you to fly out to California and provide some services to one of our stores there.
No, okay, here's a better example.
Okay, go ahead.
So, your boss goes into your office one day and he says, you're doing an event where you're going to go up and speak in front of people for an hour. You're going to have to pay for yourself for both the plane and the hotel room that you're staying at, and you're going to do the service that you're being paid for, and hope that we swear you're going to be paid after you're done. But first you have to do the service that you're being paid for after you fly yourself out and pay for your own hotel room and your own food.
I quit.
Like,
I ain't working another second for you, dog. You do not know how business works.
That actually is normal. Actually,
That's terrible.
Yes.
it's normal. But when you get there and you cut back, you're not getting paid for jack. That's when you say, "Time to find a new job," or "Time to leave," "Time to take legal action."
well, I mean, like, and that's a whole situation of, like, they're not even being reimbursed.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Like literally, like, the people of the con got together in a room, got everybody, stopped any panels that might have been going on, stopped it all, gathered everyone in a room and said, we need $17,000 before this hour is up or we're going to be kicked out. Literally. All the other money was gone, and none of the panelists had been paid. None of the special guests had been paid. That's $17,000 that they managed to earn because people have faith in things when sometimes it's not such a good thing to. Anyway, that $17,000 went directly to the hotel to make sure they could stay there for the next 2 days. They didn't ask for any more money. I mean, it's stupid that they asked for the $17,000, but of course they weren't about to push their luck. None of those panelists got paid. They probably still haven't been paid. On their website, they said they were going to start trying to reimburse people who paid for the convention. I wonder whether or not any of those people have been reimbursed.
It's
$1.
and that comes back to the one word: extortion.
Extortion.
They stole money. Like, according to their thing, they've paid off the hotel.
Yeah.
So
That's
any money that they have other than that, I guess they technically aren't. They don't have to pay anybody.
they got a great DJ system.
Yeah, they got a great DJ system. They got a big projector, a nice big stage.
I mean, is that what people think all it takes is to make a convention? I mean, I can spend $5,000, go out and rent a truck with a flat panel that folds down into a DJ booth and go to a park and just start presenting stuff to people. I'm going to get my butt sued, man. Everybody from the Chamber of Commerce is going to be like, you haven't rented this space for the day? Get out or go to jail. It's just, it's bad planning, and
So
unfortunately, this might become a thing because conventions are becoming more and more of a common thing, specifically with the interconnectivity of the internet. We have really successful ones like Minecon, which its first year was crazy successful. They got, what's his name? Deadmau to DJ for them. That's some high-level stuff, guys. But you're going to have a lot of people who are going to try to put together events like this. Most of them will probably work more within their means, but you'll have people who will do stuff like this, and it'll begin to kind of muddy the waters of convention making.
My biggest hope for this is after this whole debacle, after this whole thing where people saw firsthand what happens and saw people get robbed, basically.
Yeah.
They'll think twice about just giving people money without knowing where it's going.
Undoubtedly. I don't for a second doubt that that's what's going to happen. If it had to happen somewhere, at least it happened on Tumblr. Maybe now people will be more responsible with it.
But, again, it's the internet.
It's the internet. It's Tumblr too. And what was it when they were talking about needing $17,000? They mentioned 4chan. I was like, guys, just now cut off the microphone. You're killing your argument. It was like a lot of you probably think that 4chan was the one that did this to us. No.
They did this.
No.
No one thought that. I'm guessing no one thought that for a second.
You stop talking right
what
there.
What they were trying to do is they were trying to get into people's heads.
Yeah.
That maybe it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Maybe it's someone else's.
Mm-mm. No. Anyway, fun.
Yeah.
Wish we could have gone for free.
For free.
Get a panel there.
That would it's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, I know.
What would be the point
Oh,
of the
that's
panel?
a joke. I was joking.
Why would you want to do a
God.
panel there and not get paid for it?
No. it's
More
joking.
importantly, you know what our panel is, right, Sarah? We make fun of these people constantly.
So what you're saying is we should have another section next year on Dashcon.
Yes, we
Yeah,
should do.
sure.
We'll do Shirotaku say images, Shirotaku say videos, Shirotaku say Dashcon.
So you guys want to do a panel at AntCon?
Will they pay for our hotel?
So I guess the biggest question is, will there be a Dashcon 2015?
I am putting down. I will say it is
It's gonna be a pool party.
15% likely. that there will be a Dashcon next year.
It's gonna be
Because people on Tumblr are pretty stupid, so.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a pool party without any water. Everyone's gonna be in pools.
Well, don't you mean that they're all going to be in a ball pit?
Yeah, just imagine it. Ball pits as far as the eye can see.
No, it's gonna be an empty pool.
I'm guessing that's going to be a thing at conventions now. They're going to have like a ball pit just sitting somewhere.
And just say for Tumblr users. You couldn't walk 3 feet without stepping on round plastic balls, man. It was horrible.
I hope someone cosplays the ball pit.
Oh
this year.
god, me too.
You should do it.
I hope he charges people.
I think you should just stand next to a ball pit and go $5
Oh
an
god.
hour.
No, you say $17,000.
$17,000 an hour. You should make it like have a pool, have you.
Oh,
inside of it.
I would hang out with that bro all day long. Be amazing. Oh. No, I don't think it's going to happen next year. I don't.
I think they might try.
I think there will be numerous attempts to start it up.
SonicCon did.
But
have,
I doubt it'll happen again.
remember SonicCon?
Mhm.
They did have one right after.
They had one right after?
Yep.
Did it work?
And then the year next year.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Anyways, so I've been Zach,
I've been Evan.
I'm Sarah.
and thanks for joining us in this nice little view.
Congratulations on making the right choice for not going to Dashcon.
I guess that's the best way to put it.
Do you think also part of Dashcon was the economy is failing in freaking
No,
China?
no, they're
Okay.
just idiots.
No, they're just
Okay,
dumb.
Okay.
They probably paid for it all with bitcoins.
All right.
Oh!
See you later.
Metal Ray Radio.